Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Potsmoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Potsmoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Tanakh, of the Jewish tradition. However, I was raised Christian, so I used the King James Version of the Christian Bible to put together the prophecy of Israel from the scattered testimony of the Old Testament prophets. It became the Book of Zion. And in order to publish the Book of Zion, I had to write the Potsmoker's Bible as a commentary and dissertation to the prophecy of Israel, the Book of Zion. And contained within the prophecy of Israel, I found a set of instructions that I was uniquely qualified to follow. So I did. And the very last thing on my to-do list is to publish these, which is what I'm doing on this YouTube channel and social media platform. So, in order to publish peace and finalize the fulfillment of prophecy from my end of things, I'm reading to you from the Potsmoker's Bible, Book of Zion. I'm on the 26th chapter of the Potsmoker's Bible, which contains the 23rd chapter of the Book of Zion. I'm going to take up where I left off last time, discussing Isaiah 42:5. And it goes like this: drying up all of our herbs? That is so duh. Just go to the store, to the spice rack, and you will find all of the herbs have been dried up. However, there's a double meaning here because all of our herbs means Zionites herbs. Herb is another nickname for marijuana. So our herb marijuana is indeed dried up. This last part also has dual meanings. Our planet is changing due to climate change. Our rivers are becoming islands. Our pools are drying up. But we are also architects. We shape and reshape our land. So we make rivers and have islands. And we dry up unwanted pools of water. Which brings us to Isaiah 42:6. If I have And I will bring the blind by a way they knew not, and I will lead them in paths that they have not known. I will make darkness light for them, and crooked things straight. These things I will do unto them, and not forsake them. Wow. This is a big realized promise. The verse is an example of just how far the gray have gone to prove themselves by this prophecy. There is even now, when I wrote this, a commercial on air that is an app for blind people. It guides them in real time, letting them walk around without aid. Their cell phone AI tells them where to go, leading them in paths they knew not. So cool. By vocal um, cues, the phone makes light of their dark world, mapping out their location. The cell phone makes their crooked things straight, helping them avoid obstacles. So this verse is literally written so that a TV commercial could be used as a testimonial of the gray. So cool. This brings us to Isaiah 52:13, which becomes Zion 23:29. Behold, my servant shall be extolled, it shall be exalted and extolled, and be very high. I love this one. Kenny will be exalted and extolled. We will treat him with honor and nobility because he has earned it. His actions and words will prove his worth, and we will treat him accordingly. We honor those who serve, and Kenny has served. He will also be very high. And this says it all clear and simple. Messiah will be very high. He will smoke a lot of pot. He will be high because it's part of his job. He will be very high to be open to the channeling of God. He will be very high, period. What other explanation is there? Which leads us to Psalms 21:7, which becomes Zion 23:30. For the king trusteth in the Lord, and through the mercy of the Most High he shall not be moved. Through all of these years, and through experiencing firsthand the intentions of the Grey towards both himself and myself, Kenny has been shown that the Grey do have our best interests at heart. He trusts them because they have earned it. Kenny doesn't blindly follow anyone. He knows that the Most High, the Grey God of Earth, is a merciful God, a God that has gone to great lengths to protect the life of the Grey on Earth. Kenny has seen firsthand just how merciful the Grey are. That's why, no matter what humans say about the Grey, Kenny will stand his ground, knowing without any doubt that the Grey truly care about humanity. So that's the words of fearful humans will fall on deaf ears. Kenny has proof that of the Grey's true intent. Which brings us to Isaiah 45:13, which is Zion 23:31. I have raised him up in righteousness, and I will direct all his ways. He shall build my city, and he shall let go all my captives, not for price, nor for reward, saith the Lord of hosts. Kenny was raised in righteousness. In other words, Kenny has gotten high since his youth. He grew up getting high, and as all Greys, he was taught by the Grey way, the way of the high, the way of joy. Kenny knew the high ways of Zion long before he was abducted by the Grey aliens. Kenny has been following his inner Grey voice since he was a teenager. That Grey Ishi is now Kenny's trusted mentor. Kenny knows that he has a strong, wise teacher to turn to if he ever has any doubts on what is the best course of action to take in any given scenario. Ishi's inner voice is a sure guide in moral issues. Kenny will be the man in charge of building the city of Zion, the capital of the kingdom of Zion, and the home of the spaceport, a place built to house the Grey and other species of the known worlds. This city will be an interspecies home for all beings to live, a city that Kenny will oversee the construction of. Kenny will also be the person who will negotiate the release of all Zionites still serving drug-related prison terms. This will include prisoners from all over the world, not just American citizens. He will use non-monetary means to procure the release of the prisoners, the drug dealers around the world, because all of them are supposed to be freed. This freeing of the drug dealers is to be done without resorting to buying their freedom or by promising the nation's rewards. So Kenny will use other non-traditional means to secure the release of the Zionite citizens serving terms around the world. So I'm sure Kenny will be inventive in gaining the freedom of our people. The next two passages are Isaiah 55:3 and 4, which becomes Zion 32 and 33. Incline your ears and come unto me. Hear, and your soul shall live, and I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David. Behold, I have given him for a witness to the people, a leader and a commander of the people. Incline your ears and come unto me. Hear, and your soul shall live. I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David. Here is he is telling us that with Kenny's voice he will speak. Those who listen and come to the call will live. Those who don't listen will not heed the warnings, and they will perish. The message is spoken by humans, but the words come from the alien minds. Those aliens know much more than we can. We need to listen to them. Those who do heed the warnings of this book and the gray, those who listen, will receive the sure mercies of David. King David was one of those few humans in our history that was known to have one on one contact with God. He ruled his kingdom with the help of the gray. King David was a good listener. He was merciful, and that is because he had friends in high places, and when he had problems, he would turn to them. They were his guiding counsel. So when he had a moral dilemma or if he lacked knowledge, he would seek the guidance of the gray. But anyone who knows the story of David knows that his rule was not easy or his decisions always right. His children put him through hell, but it's not his failure as a father that made him a good king. It was his mercy that was important. Even when his son Absalom turned on him, King David still loved his son. This love beyond wrongs done, that set him apart as king. He never forgot to be a man. He never forgot to be a father. That is the sure mercies of David. He loves beyond all wrongs done. A man first. He always ruled with his heart as well as with his head. Kenny will be that kind of a king. He will rule from his heart as well as from his head. He will not forget to forgive. Behold, I have given him for a witness. The next passage says, to the people, a leader and a commander of the people. Since 1988, Kenny has been first and witness to the gray. They have been visiting him. They have been abducting him, and they have been manipulating his life in order to teach him how to be a good leader. He has been a witness of the gray. They have worked with him since 1988, at the very least. During all of these years, Kenny has been learning how to become a just and merciful king. He has faced moral dilemmas, and he has failed to make the right choices over and over again. He has watched each wrong choice play out, so that he has learned to make the right decision the hard way through years of trial and error. You ask how I know this? Well, I was the moral choice. It was through his inner dealings with me that the events in my life that was his moral proving ground. The gray linked our minds. He was given control of my life. I had been begging to die because Kenny had rejected me, because he was my chosen one of God. That was worse than death, to have to live without him once he had been chosen. So they forced him to deal with me by linking our minds permanently. Once that link was made, Kenny had no choice but to deal with me, the voice in his head, and the life of his dream time. He dreams my life. It sucks. So, since 1988, Kenny has had to deal with me and my problems, with his rejection of me. That was the cause. I'm sure it sucks for him too. The combination of Dreamtime storyline and real-time vocal interactions has created a real-time living classroom for us both. Kenny has learned to rule wisely. Because he's been ruling my life since 1988, I've learned to heal myself. He has learned how to be a just and merciful ruler. So, all of the lessons he has learned has made him a sure commander and a wise leader of the gray on earth. When he takes my hand to be my king, He will not hesitate. He knows how to lead the third of humanity. That will be his charge in the future. He has graduated from the School of Hard Knocks and is ready to lead with mercy. So may the Grey watch over us, guide us, protect us, and keep us from all harm. May they teach us right from wrong, and may you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light, the unicorn way. Find your joy and pursue it, and make that your guild choice. Stay happy and high. If you use drugs, you have every right and reason to. I love you too much to say goodbye, so I'm going to say later now.